So I'd like to welcome to today's Women in Tech Campfire, Charlene Hunter. So welcome to the stage, Charlene. Thank you so much for joining us. So could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm Charlene Hunter and I'm the CEO and founder of an organisation called Coding Black Females. So we really focus on trying to get more Black women into the tech industry, but also supporting progression through the industry as well.
Brilliant. And just a bit about who Coding Black Females are to our audience would be really beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do quite a lot of work we're a non-profit organisation and we try to support people's progression and entry into the tech industry. The sort of work that we do, we have loads of events. So we run events around twice a month currently, although a lot more than that a lot of the time. We also do mentorship programs and training programs as well. So there's quite a lot that we do in the industry to really inspire people, to give people that insight into the tech industry, but also enable them to find out how they can move through it, how they can progress and enable that entry to the industry as well.
Amazing. So a bit about yourself, Charlene. What was the inspiration about starting Coding Black Females?
So for me, I've actually been a software developer for around 10 years. And in that time, I hadn't met any of the Black women who were software developers. And I didn't really create it to make a change or anything like that. I created it initially just to meet some people, meet some Black women who are in the industry and find out a bit about their backgrounds. So for me, it's really been about enabling people to get in now. When we started out, it was about creating resources and sharing resources and enabling people. And now we're really focused on getting people on the right programs and connecting people in the community as well. So I really wanted to create that opportunity, create that space after I started in the industry and had been in it for a while.
Fantastic. And what are the kind of activities that Coding Black Females do to make an impact into the industry?
So we do quite a range. There's a lot that we do. So I guess starting off, we want people to know about the sorts of companies that we have available that are in the industry where people could work. So we have a company profile page on our website just for people to find out more about organizations. And then also a job board where people can really know, okay, these are the roles that are open. And also these are the companies that are already engaging with Coding Black Females and other companies that are focused on diversity and inclusion. Another thing that we really focus on is events. So we do have around 2 events a month and sometimes more. And those events will generally be workshops or talks or panels, just really giving people that insight into the industry, but also enabling them to develop their skills as well. We do want to spotlight the Black women who are also in tech and already doing things in the industry. So a lot of our events are focused on the Black women who are already in tech. And those events are really to create that platform, but also to inspire people as well. Some of the mentorship programs that we do, so we do mentorship either with people within our network or they will be with companies. So we'll run company-based mentor programs where they'll provide some mentors and we'll have mentees from our network and we'll pair them together. That's a really good way for people in those companies to develop their leadership skills, but also for our members to develop their technical skills as well. And then
Sure.
I mentioned earlier, we also do training programs, and with those, there's quite a range to the sort of training programs that we do. So some will be around developing technical skills and some around non-technical skills, but we're essentially really focused on creating that progress and enabling people's development.
Absolutely. And obviously with 2021 being all in lockdown, has that impacted much on the company and impacted your networking events, or are they quite friendly, even though they're virtual?
Yeah, they're still very friendly. It's actually impacted it in a way that I would never have expected. So because we've been online the entire time, we've been able to reach people all over the world. So we're able to have events where everybody can actually just feel connected and be connected all on a single event. And I know that a lot of companies that are running online events have found the same, they're reaching a much wider audience, and that's what we've definitely found. So we try to encourage that communication and people to really connect with each other. So we'll do networking online, but then also have a lot of panel sessions with people all over the country coming together to do talks, but then all over the world, connecting to listen to those events as well.
And are these events just you have to be there, or are you able to access them on demand?
Yeah, we can also access them on demand. So we have a YouTube channel where people can go and watch the events that we've already run. But we also have a podcast where we record everything and we also put that on the podcast. So that has all of our previous events, but also any interviews that we've run as well with people in the community or externally to find out more about different roles.
And would you say there's one specific activity or event that maybe someone in the audience can catch up on, and you think it's generally impacted either the way you're looking at things or something really exciting that you really want to shout out to the audience?
So one of the events that we ran that I loved and we had loads of people attend was actually
Mm.
our Black Women in Gaming event that we ran last year.
Wow. Yeah.
So Black women, or there's not many Black people in the gaming industry, in the developing industry, and the gaming's development industry. And we really wanted to highlight the people that are already in it, already working in it, and
Mm.
to try and make sure that we can enable that. So with that event, the great thing was that we showcased the types of games that people are building and how you can get into games development, but then also the reasons that we actually need people to be in gaming. I'd never really thought about gaming that much before, but after that, it really helped me to see that games industry has actually really benefited a lot of people, and it benefits people from the way that they learn and the way that they've handled lockdown as well. So that for me was quite a strong one. We also had an event earlier this year which was around technical architecture and leadership. And with that, it was again about how can you be in technical architecture, how can you be in leadership, what does that mean as a role, and how can you progress into it. So that was really good for our members to really connect with and find out more about progressing. And off the back of that, we'll be running some leadership programs later on in the year as well.
That sounds really exciting. Everyone has to stay tuned for that then, Charlene. But going back to a bit about your story, what inspired you to become a woman in tech? Was it something that was kind of you got brought up into, or something you were just intrigued about?
I think I was intrigued and I was raised in tech. So
Mm.
I discovered coding when I was probably about 8 years old. And at that point, I really got to have a go at coding and find out more about it. And I didn't really know I was coding at the time. But what then happened was I was bought a computer by my parents and I got to do more coding and have another go at it. And over time, I just started enjoying it. But I didn't want to do it as a career. The thing that
Mm.
really helped me to know that I wanted to do it as a career was that my dad had a software company and that I actually still work at today. So I'm still involved in my dad's software company. But when I was a lot younger, it was really, I was building computers and doing networking. And then I started doing coding and working on projects. And now I'm there, doing some of the technical direction. So for me, always being in that environment really enabled me to see it as a real career, as something that I could progress into. And I was definitely raised in tech, I would say.
What would you say your day in, obviously before you're a software developer and now you've gone into being coding Black females full time? What's a day in the life of Charlene? What's the kind of day to day, or is it all different dependent on, the events and everything else you've got coming up?
Every day currently is different. Sometimes I miss the world of being a software developer because I was able to do some coding and get a task done and know that something was released for the customer and it was done. I knew what I'd done and completed.
Yeah.
Now my days vary massively. So I'll typically I'll try to get through my emails. I'll normally fail to get through my emails, but then I'll have a lot of meetings. So I have back-to-back meetings normally for the first half of the day. The second half of the day is the time that I get down to putting partnership deals together or trying to understand what we can do in the community or any new types of events we need to build or new types of programs. So that's really my strategy and planning time is my afternoons. And in the morning is events or talks or meetings back to back all morning. And then my evenings are events. So it's definitely a long day. I tend to work about 14, 16 hours a day at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's generally meetings, events, and planning.
Wow. Busy woman then. So on that note, I mean, as you're doing so much work, is there any new exciting news for Coding Black Females and any new partnerships that you'd like to highlight?
So I think the thing that I'm most excited about is the fact that we can do so many programs now. So a lot of our partnerships that we have on board are enabling us to create training programs for our members. So some of the training programs we have coming up are, a leadership training course that we're putting together alongside one of our partners. and a Python course that we already have, but we'll be able to run again because of our partners, a web development course, a lot of events that we're putting on, and also we'll be running the boot camp as well. So we have a coding boot camp that we run alongside a company called Neo Enterprise. And this year, rather than training 50, we're training 100 women to get into the tech industry and to learn those skills. So I think for me, the most exciting thing is how many people we're impacting this year through tech and through our tech development programs because of our partnerships.
Absolutely. What an inspiration, and well done you, Charlene. That draws this quick conversation to a close. Charlene will be joining us later on a panel discussion. But Charlene, just to find out any more about Women in Tech, or if people want to get involved, what's the best way of getting in contact with you?
Absolutely. If you head over to our website, codingblackfemales.com, then you can find all the information there about how to contact us and also how to join the community. If you want to get in contact with us directly, then info@codingblackfemales.com to connect with us, and we can have a conversation.
Fantastic. Thank you, Charlene.
Thank you.